Hey, what's up, y'all? Marlon Ladd here. It is June. The holiday Juneteenth is coming up. So I thought I would, chime in on a video with 5 little-known facts about Juneteenth. Fact number 1. Did you know that most of the slaves in the United States already knew that they were free before Juneteenth? Even in Texas. The reason why Juneteenth is so important is because you can think that you're free, but until you have federal troops to actually protect that freedom, then you ain't free. So what they needed was a federal presence of troops to actually enforce the law. Fact number 2, there were 2 Emancipation Proclamations. The first one was written by Lincoln in 1863 during the Civil War. It was an executive order. The second one, which was passed by Congress in January of 1865, was an actual law. The executive order couldn't really be enforced because at the time, the country was split between the North and the South. You can't really enforce the law in the South. You don't have any control over that. But what Lincoln wanted to do was he didn't want the slaves to fight for the Confederacy. He put out the executive order in a very lawful way. He knew it might be challenged in court later, so that the slaves would not fight for the Confederacy and give them an edge. Fact number 3, General Granger, who is given credit for marching into Galveston and letting everybody know that the slaves were free, never gave a speech, never did any of that. He didn't even write the general order. He didn't. And in fact, he didn't even want to be there. History lists this man along with Juneteenth so he can be celebrated. He didn't even do anything. He just got orders to march into Galveston, and that's what he did. And you know what? He wasn't even there 30 days before they booted him out because Ulysses S. Grant didn't even want him there in the first place. Fact number 4, there were no speeches given about the slaves being set free in Galveston on June 19, 1865. It was circulated through word of mouth, through the newspaper, through signs that they put up. So there was never one person that walked in and gave a speech and all the people cheered and none of that stuff. It didn't happen like that. Fact number 5. When Juneteenth happened, Abraham Lincoln had already been assassinated. He was assassinated in April of that year. Now, something else that you may not know was even though the Emancipation Proclamation passed Congress January of 1865, it had to be ratified, which means that a certain number of states have to pass the law in their states for it to become federal law. That did not happen until December of 1865. So Lincoln had already been assassinated, and his successor, I guess you want to call him that, President Johnson, who was a Southern sympathizer, went way left with a lot of things that Lincoln wanted to do. Just a little history lesson for y'all. Hope you enjoyed. If you do, make sure that you like and subscribe and share this. And listen, I always say this, just because I'm saying it doesn't mean that it's true. You can look this information up for yourself, and I would prefer that you do. There's a lot of misinformation being spread out there, and you need to do your own research. Be your own critical thinker, because too many times in our society, we listen to what one person says and we take it and run with it. Look this information up for yourself. Till next time, I am Ladd, Marlon Ladd, holler.